The red eye, it's like I am Sam. If by Sam you mean wearing women's underwear this evening. Let's go to TV's Andy Levy for our pregame report. Andy, what's coming up on tonight's show?
Thanks, Greg. Our top story tonight, the ex-girlfriend of Tamerlan Tsarnaev speaks out. We'll have the exclusive story straight ahead. Nah, I'm just kidding. She gave an interview somewhere else. We'll just be discussing it. Plus, the White House Correspondents' Dinner, great or awesome? A fair and balanced report next. And finally, what legendary musician and partier will be touring with Ramones drummer Marky Ramone? Hopefully it's Andrew WK, because we got him on the show tonight and we're going to be asking him about it. Greg?
So, Andy, after the show, are you going to be making timeshare presentations in Coral Gables?
We don't call them timeshares anymore, Greg.
What are they called?
Well, I'll tell you that when we meet after the show.
I probably won't be making it down there.
Really?
Unless you can make it worth my while.
We have free cookies.
Oh, there you go. I'm a sucker for cookies. Go away, sad, strange man without a tie. Let's welcome our guest. Well, she knows divorce courts like I know jean shorts. It's called style, people. Get used to it. I'm here tonight with a first-time guest. It's attorney in Fordham Law, Professor Vikki Ziegler. Don't know a lot of Vickis, so I'm glad to know you. And if hilarity were a bowl of trail mix, I'd ignore everything but his nuts. It's comedian Joe DeVito.
Gee whiz.
Disgusting. And in Russia, he's considered a meat pie. It's my repulsive sidekick, Bill Schultz. And if musical genius were a bonus check, I'd blow him on a ski trip, probably with some friends. Sitting right next to me, musician and record producer Andrew WK.
A Block, the lead. That's the first story. Get ready to be informed, but also entertained, America.
You know what? He's turned over a new leaf. His ex didn't give an F. Well, turns out the Boston bomber was a bad boyfriend. The former flame of Tamerlane, a.k.a. head, says that when she heard he'd been killed, she, quote, didn't cry. In an interview with The Sun, the British newspaper, not the G-type main sequence star that gives us light and heat, Andrew, Nadine Asienko reveals that she ended her 3-year relationship with the older brother, represented here, as usual, by a primitive drawing of dog poop, after he physically assaulted her for going to a pool party wearing cutoff jeans and a crop top, what Joe wears. After the show, she also describes his sudden transformation, quote, "1 minute he's this funny, normal guy who liked boxing and having fun. The next he's praying 4 times a day. It's supposed to be 5, actually. Watching Islamic videos and talking insane nonsense. He became extremely religious and tried to brainwash me to follow Islam. He wanted me to hate America like he did." And you know what I'd rather focus on? This. That was probably
wow.
That
was a seizure as well.
That was
We're laughing at a seizure.
No, we're
Spasm.
not.
Yeah.
That is a great way to start a Monday. A little kitten playing around in a bowl of milk. It's got to make you feel better. It's been a rough couple of weeks. Hey, WK. Okay, if it's true, we keep hearing these stories. You get radicalized just like that.
Yeah.
Can we just stop hand-wringing over his motivations? Because we know they can't go back. It's like once you see it, it's kind of like getting a good to evil change. Like a sex change, but it's from good to evil.
It's like a new hobby that takes over everything about your life, and then you cancel your old life.
You cancel your old life.
And you know, obviously his girlfriend watched this happen and was quite disturbed. And fortunately she got out. I just, think she was very lucky to separate from him, as quickly as possible.
If she is indeed telling the truth, Andrew, we don't know that. Of course we do. Vikki, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Like I said, you're the first Vikki that I've run into since my babysitter, which they haven't found. Do you think that this is going to be, Vikki keeps saying, Vikki, the girlfriend.
I'm in your head.
You are in my head. It's a large place. She was surprised that the younger brother was involved and that he was a nice kid. Isn't that going to end up being the defense? That they're just going to say the brother was bullied and we're all going to have to nod along?
Absolutely. His position is clearly going to be, I was brainwashed by my older brother. I was a good kid. Everyone will establish that during this trial. I didn't do anything wrong except for the fact that we have him on video and all the evidence that's going to pour out on Instagram, his tweets, social media. We've seen a little bit an insight into what this guy's done already. So I think even though he's 19 and he has a baby face, he's a cold-blooded killer, and I don't think anybody's going to be dissuaded or persuaded with that kind of argument.
Joe, you have a baby face, but you keep it in your glove compartment.
Monster.
I don't mean to insult you, but I'm going to. When you look at the fact that these guys have incredibly, social life with many girlfriends, it's got to drive you nuts, Joe.
A little bit. It's like, let's see, he's an abusive, philandering terrorist. I don't want to hear the next 5 women I date complain about anything. Okay, I don't want to hear it. Because I think, like, how low is the self-esteem on these women they date, and how can I capitalize? How can I get in on something?
No, it's incredible. They had, these guys had no problems getting women, and they were scumbags. And yet, Joe, I consider you a nice guy, but I never, see you out with a girl.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's weird.
Now I got to go out with them too. I don't know. Yeah. I don't really like your gender.
You can't just wear them, Joe. Bill, what radicalized you to become a hermaphrodite, or were you always that way?
I'm a radical hermaphrodite. I skateboard. I like activities. I have one less thing to get injured. I love that she starts off by saying he was a really nice guy. He likes sports and he's funny. And then he did this. And then he did that. And then he hit me. And then he tried to get me to go into, force me to convert into Islam. He wouldn't let me hang out with my friends. He hit me again when I went to a party and wore jean shorts. At what point down the stairs do we say, hey, I might just leave this guy? It is an Arabic Lifetime channel movie.
It is.
And I don't understand.
Not without my burqa.
Yes, thank you. I don't get the mindset behind it. It's like she had low self-esteem. He made it 10 times lower. If it isn't
and that's fine. And we can beat up on her all we want. We don't know anything about her.
He did.
No, he did. And that's the whole point. There was a domestic violence restraining order, was never prosecuted because he assaulted her. That's the bigger problem.
Exactly.
He fell through the system. He should have been arrested. He should have been incarcerated. But no, he didn't become a U.S. citizen. Okay, that's fantastic. But we're missing the bigger point.
No, you're absolutely right.
I'm not trying to be serious and a downer.
No, you're right.
I think it's a point.
No, we need that just to balance out our own idiocy. We need to have an adult in the room. Your Red Eye's official babysitter. You know what my favorite part of this story, and I wanted to just talk about the mom before we move on. She was caught shoplifting at a Lord & Taylor.
What?
And this was years ago. And it's kind of awesome that it was the Lord & Taylor surveillance cameras that got her kids. And inevitably,
I didn't know that.
And nobody,
Across the street?
That was Lord & Taylor is kind of like the invisible elephant in this story. But also, I want to show the before and after of the mom here. This is before she was radicalized.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
She looks like she could have been in Susie and the Banshees,
yes,
or Quarter Flash, or a member of the Black Hearts, or the Runaways. Black Hearts were all guys.
Did a good look.
Yeah, and then
he went downhill.
So radical Islam just saps you of your spunky hotness.
Yeah, it should go from Joan Jett to Sinead O'Connor.
Yes.
Real quick.
Yes. Sinead. All right, from beasts to feasts. Is it a harmless event? Or should everyone just get bent? The White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday night brought together politicians, members of the media, Hollywood celebrities, all stinking of vomit-encrusted cummerbunds. I couldn't attend because my pet turtle, Captain Hardshell, had choked on my neck massager. Anyway, here's some highlights, fans of highlights.
Look, I get it. These days I look in the mirror and I have to admit, I'm not the strapping young Muslim socialist that I used to be. I recognize that this job can take a toll on you. I understand second term, need a burst of new energy, try some new things, and then my team and I talked about it. We were willing to try anything, so we borrowed one of Michelle's tricks.
Well, I'm just glad that he finally admitted that he's a lady-hating Kenyan. They're attacking his own wife about her hair, admitting he's a Muslim socialist. I don't know how America finds this funny. All right, but should the shindig be shunned? Well, Tom Brokaw, whoever that is, declined to attend, complaining about celebrities at the dinner and how it looks to the rest of the country. Probably wasn't invited. And Sarah Palin blasted the bash, tweeting late Saturday night, quote, That WHCD was pathetic. The rest of America is out there working their asses off while these DC ass clowns, that sounds like a great name for a movie that I couldn't rent, throw themselves a nerd prom. Such a mouth on that girl. Anyway, you know who else doesn't care for celebrities? Dog who's afraid of Richard Simmons. That's just an attack on Richard Simmons. So now I guess our animal videos are homophobic. Great, people, great. DeVito, comment on any part of the story you like, but I want to ask you, were you surprised to see Palin use such language?
Ass clowns? Yeah. I have to admit, I got a little turned on when I heard it.
We're talking about someone who definitely wasn't invited.
Right. You keep tweeting that ass clown talk to me, sweetheart. Yeah, well, you know, I don't worry about these correspondence dinners because I was actually at the Red Eye guest dinner that night, which was held at an Exxon station by the microwave oven.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't turn out.
That is, you know, I would, but I had other plans. But it's great. We just kind of hang out there and stir the single cup of coffee, and we never really pay until they ask us to leave, and then we use the bathroom.
It's nice.
And it's a sad ending for all of us, including the guy who has to clean the bathroom, because nothing pretty comes from gas station coffee and old burrito Vikki. Does this party look bad to America, or is it just harmless fun?
You know what? I think after the second or third glass of wine, when I was watching it, I started to feel less uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I found it was a little strange. I mean, I think the president had some comedic timing and those kinds of things, but some of the jokes were a little off color. I felt a little strange. I wasn't really that into it. But talking about Sarah Palin for a second, I had to look up what ass clown actually meant. I mean, I had the assumption. I kind of got it.
Yeah.
In the Urban Dictionary, it was there. It wasn't in Webster's. And I think she's just trying to get relevant because everyone forgot about her.
You know what, though? Ass clown is basically, from what I understand, a clown that lives in your ass. I wouldn't have to look it up. WK, you're an outspoken proponent of parties and partying in general. What would you, if you were involved in controlling or improving this dinner, what was missing?
Balloons,
yes,
for starters. I did not see any balloons. There was no confetti drop,
yes,
which I think would have sort of humiliated everyone in a good way. Everyone's going to be covered in little pieces of colored paper.
Yeah.
I think the American people could relate to them more if they looked ridiculous. The thing is, this makes me feel like when you go on an airplane and they make a bunch of jokes during the safety instructions. It doesn't seem like the proper place.
Yes.
Just, save that for after.
Yes, that is true. I hate that. I always love the comfortable Southern. We're just going to relax, and then somebody says it's always Southwest.
Yes,
that makes jokes.
Exactly. I stopped flying on them because
of the jokes.
It's not the time I want to hear jokes.
Yeah, you should start heckling. Bill, you attended the dinner in 2012 as a busboy, and then had sex with John Bon Jovi in a broom closet.
I was his ass clown.
Yes,
I was.
Sexy.
Yeah, thank you. I thought the only thing it really needed was an overwrought, unfunny comedy film featuring Kevin Spacey as his character in that show, and lots of pointless cameos by people we don't know.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it did have that for half an hour.
It did?
Oh my, it was
House
the
of
worst.
Cards?
It just would not stop. That thing needed an editor. If there's one thing Washington can't do, it can edit itself. The whole thing took forever. And by the way, Sarah Palin is calling her own family asshats because the last 2 years, her husband and daughter have come in her stead.
Have they?
And you know what she did? She just went to the parties afterwards. So that means that she got rid of all the correspondence and just hobnobbed with the Hollywood elite.
Here's
what's missing. Okay, number one, it did feel like a bunch of wannabes exercising the velvet rope that excludes the rest of America.
Yes.
And you know that I'm about America. My velvet rope includes you, and it really is a velvet rope.
And it's wrapped around
100%.
a place that we can't scroll down to.
Exactly.
Silk satin
I learned
velvet.
it from
too.
Richard Quest in CNN.
I'm seeing a robe and a cigar also with
They
you.
should probably
That's
Google.
not a cigar.
Google that reference. All right, wait. I want to make a point. You guys are missing the whole point. Nobody there got drunk.
Yeah.
What was missing was people vomiting, fist fights. What happens in a great party is people getting
They didn't serve alcohol, you're saying?
They serve. I was there last year and the year before. They serve alcohol, but they don't get wasted.
Right, Chris Christie's table, they were eating, so they were not.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
No, but that's the whole point of these. If America would watch this, it would be the highest rated thing if you could see all your leaders and your stupid media hacks throwing up on each other.
Like the old Dean Martin roasts?
Yes.
Where they're all like smoking and their shirts are unbuttoned down.
Yes.
What I think is funny about this is the president, we talk about the president's timing is actually pretty good.
Yeah.
It must be interesting for the media to be there and be like, oh, we've never thought of making fun of this president before. You could do that. You could laugh at it.
Exactly. Wow, he could do a better version than anybody else could, and they were too scared. Do I have time to go to this? From nerds to jocks. Does earning a varsity letter keep students from doing better? Well, according to a new study from Michigan State University, go parking cones, the dumb jock label might be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Researchers found that the more student athletes identify themselves as athletes, the less confident they are with their academic abilities. The theory is that labels create anxiety, causing the stereotype group to behave as expected. Let's go to a typical college athlete for a comment.
For you.
Oh, that is delightful. WK, you're a former gorgeous jock. Are you buying this?
Thank you, yes.
You were a jock.
I was on the swim team. I tried to run a few times, played some soccer. People actually, the jocks would make fun of me and say, you're just a partier, you're a loser, just a hesh or whatever. And it happened. It happened. And I said, no, I'm never going to do it. I'm never going to grow my hair long. It really works.
You are a hesher. I haven't heard that phrase in ages, but you're a hesher.
Yeah, headbanger, metalhead, pot.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're trying to hide the fact that you're hiding that word, you did a horrible.
Vikki, do you buy this? That if jocks were to do better in school, we'd have to make them do better in school by telling them they're not jocks?
No, I mean, come on, this is a total mind, you know what? I mean, come on. Yeah, they may focus a little more on their athletic ability after school and less during the day, but come on. This is really about socioeconomic issues, family upbringing. This is really not about because you're a jock or you're a goth or you're a nerd that you're going to do better or worse in school. I mean, it's ridiculous. I won't tell you what I was called in school, and I kind of have a couple of degrees.
What were you called?
I'm not telling.
Oh, come on.
You were prom queen, weren't you?
No, I was not.
We couldn't.
You weren't called
prom.
Frank, were you? And then something happened.
I shaved.
Yes.
Sorry, I shaved tonight.
DeVito, isn't the whole point of doing sports so that no one expects you to do well in school? That's the deal you make.
Yeah, well, I remember I was on the wrestling team, and the coach
I bet you were.
Me. I was.
That could explain why there's no women in your life.
And the handkerchief.
The coach would make us all come by, and we had to show him our report cards, and everyone else got bad grades, but he would get mad at me because my grades were pretty good, but I was a horrible wrestler. So he couldn't get mad. He's like, yeah, all right, you got A's, but I was like, I'm 0-12. You can't kick me off the team. You can't kick me off.
See, you just proved that you were actually brought everybody down by looking out for yourself. The lesson is, if you're a jock, screw the grades. Yeah. It's about the team. Bill, you love sports, but you were terrible at them, and you were also a terrible student, a failure all around, who steals food from other shows' green rooms.
I do not steal food from other shows' green rooms. That is available to everyone who is a talent. I am a talent on Fox News. So food's there for the talent.
So basically what you're saying is anybody else who goes in there, cameramen, sound people who want food, shouldn't be getting food?
Absolutely not. There's a pecking order. They're way down there to the point they don't even have their names. And I'm up here eating my free food.
Yeah. So you're basically saying whenever you see any of these poor folks,
First, I deal them drugs.
Okay.
Secondly, I tell them they cannot eat my food.
All right. Well, that's good.
Great
service.
What was the question again?
Gee,
you know what? You've run out of questions. We got to take a break. So coming up, does partying lead to hearing loss? Andrew WK discusses his new book. What? You're farting steam and tomato sauce? But first.